Hey YouTube, trust me with your Isle information and join my cult. Of course, the Hordetest build didn't come out on Friday. Quite a shame. However, will we live? We don't know. But the developers are hard at work, and we even know exactly what they are working on. Dondi has said that he's trying to fix some performance disparities between the servers and Pounce collision where some animals aren't being scraped off of foliage. Dondi also says that he gets that we want to have community servers instead of relying on Hordetest over the break, but they're doing what they can so we aren't stuck with a Hordetest build over the break. Dondi also said that they can reset saves and they're going to be nuking the Diablo Ceratops AI for the time being, which might mean that Amarok has received enough data from the Diablo Ceratops AI to start making some improvements with their logic. I also like that Dondi took responsibility for the community reaction. Whether or not it was going to come out in the next 5 hours, because Dondi said we have 5 hours left until the end of that day. Dondi said, yeah, I inferred that one pretty heavily since I'd said I'd remain up and working on it until midnight. It's going to be another Hordetest build first. Need full service to confirm fixes. So a quick interjection message from me. I like seeing feedback about my channel and ways I can improve. I do want to take responsibility for that. Whether I meant to or didn't mean to cause a bit more panic than was needed, I apologize for that. I have been working with Karen Boy, also known as Dr. Octavius, in the R Reddit to try to get his account unmuted in the R Discord. And if you want to support the guy trying to make this place a better place for all of us in the R community, it's just a small thing to click that subscribe button and leave some support down below, but it means a massive deal to me. Together, we can run the ship. Together, we can make a better future for all of us, because the future has never tasted sweeter, and you can make me your delightful leader. Trust me, Turkish delights, and make me the Isle community's voice. Hey YouTube, we got an exclusive look at some of these Kentro animations. So give this video as much support as possible, and I'll try and get this video out for you guys tomorrow. And you get to be some of the first people to see how Kentro is going to look when it gets added into the Isle of Rima. So Hypno did say previously that there would be some changes for the underwater night vision. And I did notice a few little changes, but there is still quite a bit of visibility issues I do hope get smoothed out. Let me know down below what sort of things you would like to be added towards the underwater vision to try and make it easier for you guys to see. We can try and give some pointers and hopefully we create a system that everyone really enjoys. Something I've been asking for ages, but the rain and thunder sounds have been lowered in volume and have a nicer muffly sort of texture towards them, which I really enjoy. I also want to take a shout out about the night vision. In the background for this video, there will be the night vision test that I was doing with the Pteranodon, going all the way from 7:30 to just about 1 o'clock in the morning in game. You see that this was the old night vision even with Dilo, where just at nighttime it was basically pitch black. In the more recent Hordetest build, even during midnight, it still looked pretty decent. I also did a check to see if the Dilo hallucinations were working correctly, and at least for me, they didn't seem to be summoning on a... but maybe it was just me, but let me know down below if it's working for you guys or what the experience has been for Dilophosaurus. And also, maybe I'm just seeing things, but the fog seems to be a little bit nicer in the early morning and evening, where you get to see a little bit more visibility. And it seems to be that you can kind of see a tiny bit further than you used to be able to, at least like the shadows of the objects in the distance. Let me know down below what you guys think. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but if it is the case, then that's a really nice change. I know a lot of you guys have been annoyed with the visibility of the game, so I am glad the developers are taking steps to try to improve that for us. As Dondi said before, Diablo AI will be removed from the Hordetest. Everyone rejoice! We will no longer have the clans of 15 Rexes and their pet dinos all living in Delta, which hopefully should make the service feel a little bit more alive, and that's a really nice change to see. So what more could be into this Hordetest if it doesn't end anytime soon? Well, one thing is that Dondi hinted at is that we could break and destroy all of the animals with various manic Hordetest builds. But also, Dondi was talking a little bit about the Diablo Downsize. It does seem to be that he said that it just dies. In the testing that they did internally, smaller Diablo just didn't work. I would have still have liked to have seen it, but we'll just have to wait and see whether or not a second pass gets put through, but that is really unfortunate to hear. Next of all, you have entombment improvements, where someone was talking about it would be nice if when your dinosaur entombs, it does a short little death animation, which Dondi said it would be better than them flopping over like they currently do. Let me know what you would like the animation to be. Would you like it to just be a continuation of the sleep animation, or an actual dedicated sort of like end of life sort of final breath sort of thing. I'm curious to know. Next, we have Dondi talking about the cannibalistic mutation, where people were talking about the fact that it would be nice if the cannibalistic mutation made it so you only ate your own species, which Dondi says the best route, one could say the only route. And later on said, I mean, I can just take it away. So a lot of people have been annoyed at the cannibalistic mutation recently, and I don't blame them for it. I, for one, do wish the mutation was more interesting, as I said before, but we'll have to see what happens with this. Let me know what you guys think down below. Tear each other to shreds, argue for your opinions, fight for what you think is right, especially if it's me. Next, Dondi was actually threatened with a 1v1. A player has been going around saying that he has yet to meet a Rex that could take down his Stego, which Dondi has been rather surprised. And then finally, apparently these guys have gone on to do a 1v1, where they're supposed to be seeing how the Stego can't be hit by the Rex post-crush or something to that effect. So I think that's really, really cool that we're seeing that happen. I think it's a really nice community moment. I'm enjoying this sort of side to the developers being put on more to do display. I like it. It's reassuring. Next, Dondi talks about Herrera, a controversial topic indeed, where they say someone was talking about the fact that despite all of this, full stop, it doesn't follow the rules of the game for Herrera to deal that much bleed. It's too small and it's too absurd. Dondi says it climbs trees, it cares not for your determination of reality. Then goes on to say that someone's like, I don't think Herrera's attack needs a change, I think it's fine as it is. Dondi then says, I wasn't suggesting changing it. But that's not where it ends. Dondi then says, I think people could come to a happy medium about Carnotaurus being able to be dropped by Herrerasaurus if the attack was manual instead of Herrerasaurus being rewarded for simply landing nearby. Now, I'm not going to interject my own opinion on this, but I'm curious to know what you guys think down below. Regardless of whether or not Herrera can or cannot bleed out a Carnotaurus, that's not the question I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is, would you guys like the idea of Herrerasaurus having a manual button input to do the attack once it gets close to you, such that it could actually miss the attack even if it lines up its shot correctly? Or do you think that's too punishing, and given that Herrera has one meaningful shot to try and get you, and then you can just run away if it misses, that it's quite decent for it to have this devastating attack, but it has one shot, and even if it lands the attack, it can still die afterwards? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll be very interested to see, and maybe it gets passed on. Who knows? Now, I think we can all say where the inspiration for that one call came from, but I think it's really cool regardless. I mean, I quite like the old one call as well as the Paleo Rex call, but let me know which one is your favorite down below. Do you like this call? Do you not like this call? What other sort of noises would you like to be changed in the game? Next, Dondi talks about the Pounce issues are affecting this Hordetest. Why is it always the Pouncers? Don says server performance disparity, Pounce not exclusive to one dinosaur, is also balked at the moment and not affected properly by the environment, and everyone is playing grapple animations as well. Then goes on to say, I'm working to try and fix some weird Pounce collision stuff, as well as a new bug was found. Allo and Raptor can pounce the head of a trike and sit on the head. So Dondi said, nice. Absolutely beautiful news. The thumbnail of the video itself, if you got that thumbnail, let me know down below. But Dondi said the speed boost is no more. When it comes to Allosaurus, what was the speed boost? It was the spam pounce. Goodness gracious me, what a beautiful day to be alive. Here I have some videos from myself and members of the community showing off that whenever Allo does its pounce now, it has a recovery animation, meaning that it can't just keep using the pounce to keep catching up to you, because whatever distance it gains during the pounce, it will lose due to the recovery animation. This is a really nice change. It's a positive step in the right direction to remove the annoying things about a playable, such that we can fix its issues. This will become relevant in a future discussion on this video. Next, mix packing was mentioned again, where some Dondi says everyone who hates mix packers should just be Troodos, and then went on to say that people are really underestimating how good Troodon does against disorientated groups of people who can't see their name tags. Once you get that fog on you and you can't tell where the Troodons are, casualties form. Someone also says, sometimes I wish I could just lightning strike the mix packs, to which Don says, honestly, a point and click lightning strike summoning gun wouldn't be bad. Funny to do and to send someone to the respawn screen. Funny when you do it to scare a friend. Manual control of lightning bolt during replays. I know how long some of you have recorded storm scenes and wish for it to be forced to walk on Legos for the rest of my life. I think that's cool. So I know that a lot of people in the ARL community, especially content creators, use the replay screen to make certain bits of their footage look way more dynamic. If you could now make proper trailers for your footage by changing the weather, changing the time of day, changing all these different things, that's a really cool feature. I can't lie. Some people may see it as a waste of resource development. I'm sure for a lot of content creators, that is a very nice little nod to be like, yeah, you guys are making cool stuff. Here you go. Next, unfortunately, the Prime Elder Beipi downsize. It may have been your last chance to get it. I really am sorry, guys. But Don says, no, I already changed it back, but not for the upcoming build, the one after. So this build right now could be your last chance to experience 250 kilogram Prime Elder Beipi. Go out and do it before it's too late, I beg of you. Many of you don't know why the Beipi was made that big. The reason why is because it was a funny haha joke. So somebody in the development team just wanted massive Beipi just for fun. So Dondi, despite the fact that he thought it was a bit silly, just made massive Beipi for fun. I actually would like more things like this in the game. And Dondi did hint at the fact that if people really liked 250 kilogram Beipi, he may just leave it in the game in the future. So make sure you put your support down there in the official Discord, on the Reddit, wherever you can. Just glaze massive Beipi because it was fun. And now we have a big change that happened in this Hordetest. It's getting a few people quite concerned. So Prime Elder Cera is being brought down to a manageable 1.8 tons, which maybe is a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I can't personally say without doing more testing about it. But I decided to look at the newer stats. Yep, it is 1.8 tons in the files. Furthermore, Prime Elder Cera runs slower than Allo, but it does trot faster than Allo. You may be like, but Turk, didn't you say before that you didn't mind Allo being faster than Cera when they're both adults? And I would say yes, but it's because Allo didn't pin the Cera. In the same way that I don't like the idea of Rex just pinning Stego, especially as it's faster than Stego in the murder sprint. You know where I'm coming from here. This for me is one of those if situations. It's this matchup could be really unfun and unhealthy for the game if nothing gets changed. The considerations I've seen so far: lower Prime Allo's weight by literally, like, I think it only needs about 100 kilograms removed, or maybe 200 kilograms removed, and then it won't pin Prime Elder Cera. And then what we now have is the matchup between Prime Elder Cera and Prime Elder Allo will be the same as the matchup between normal Allo and normal Cera. Another suggestion is just make both Cera and Allo the same speed for both adults and Prime Elder. Just make them the same speed. So therefore, who cares? Just the only way the Allo gets to Cera is if it gets ambushed. But then you have the issue of, well, what if now the Cera with more stamina just runs down the Allo? At the same time, this could be a thing that some of my friends have told me where it could be manageable. And I would agree. It could be manageable, but it also could go terribly wrong. The best suggestion I've heard, and my favorite one, is making pins more dynamic. I could live with Allo pinning Cera if there was a way to thrash your way out of a pin or a grab and get this shot at, like, saving yourself. But another suggestion for this idea is retaliatory, weird word, sort of status effect to be applied during pins. And in Cera's case, it could be interesting where Cera applies bile to you, like, you know, chomps at you and nips at you to apply bile over time. And then if it goes over your stomach capacity, you vomit and let go of the Cera. If this was the case, I wouldn't mind the pins being really strong. As in, the pins kill you in like 7 seconds. But if you have the stuff that you need to survive, you can break out, and then they have to go and get you again. That could be fair. It would also incentivize Cerados to keep their bile high and not mindlessly waste it when it's not needed, because then an Allo could get you. Let me know what you guys think down below. I get where some people are coming from, and I would agree with them to an extent with my friends, where it's like, why does Cera just need to have a balanced matchup with every single playable in the game, when there are so many other matchups in the game that currently are just not fun at all? And I get that. I get the idea that Cera is this corpse bully, and so therefore it kind of has a very suicidal niche. Its niche is getting into a really dangerous situation, aka a body that everyone can smell, and then defending it. And if that body is gone, how does it get away safely? you know, because then you just wait by the body. So I get that Serato, in order to do its role properly, needs to be able to have these matchups. But I think giving nice suggestions for Serato's matchups that actually affect more than just Serato is a nice way of doing it. But that's just my opinion on this topic. Let me know what you guys think down below. Maybe you guys have some really cool ideas. Maybe you hate my ideas. Maybe you love my ideas. Who knows? But I want to hear them. It's interesting. It gets me thinking of being like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Maybe this and this needs to be tweaked. I think that's interesting. And again, thank you guys for all of the support. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a comment. Don't worry, things like top comments and general feedback reviews will be coming back. There is just a lot working on in the background right now for this channel. So it's like, I don't have the time to properly do this. But I have been responding to all of your comments. Do not worry. I've been keeping up with you guys. I've been loving the interactivity. I've been loving building this community. And yeah, and if you guys want to see that cool little Kentro video tomorrow, make sure to share this video with all of your friends, right? Come on. This video gets, let's just say, it gets 5,000 views. The second it gets 5,000 views, I'll start working on uploading that Kentro video for you guys tomorrow. That's my deal to you guys. Let's make it happen. And until then, I'll see you guys around.